Hello everyone, this is Aya from Hinawi Software. Our topic for today is extremely useful and one of a kind because without it we cannot proceed forwards with creating the salary sheet. So basically it has a direct effect on the salary sheet and its content. Also it has an indirect effect on the different mode of payments regarding the salary itself and also regarding the several HRMS activities. It can all be decided from this special unique window, which is the set salary and benefits. As you see here, first, before I get into this, I'm logged in from the admin account because the admin account contains all permission, features, all items here will be permitted, and everything will read from the settings, which I will show you later in this video. I have covered this topic regarding the settings in a previous video, but also I'm going to show you like an overview in general in this video in order to get a more clear idea regarding the salary, the benefits, its allowances, and its effects, and where it reads from. So let's get into this. First, I will go to the Manage Employees menu, and then I will go to Set Salary and Benefits. And here you see that I will be capable of adjusting any single salary or any group of salaries. This is beneficial regarding, for example, HR officers who prefer to create and insert a group of salaries all together in one window to save time. And also we can adjust those group of salaries. We can set the extra pension regarding locals, and there is an entire list for employee payroll. And finally, it can be verified. Taxes can be verified, and all reads from the settings. So let's go to adjust any single salary. And from here, this is the window which we are going to talk and get deep into it. First, we choose the company name. As you see here, we have several company names, an entire list of company names, because this is another interesting feature in the software which allows us and displays all the companies which are created on the system. Like for example, multi-companies or more regarding HR and its several branches, all are contained here, and we can choose from, and each one of them contains its own setup and its own settings and its own procedures and activities and all those processes. So for example, let's go to test company. I will show you the window here and then I'll go to the settings, okay? I'll choose test company here and I'll choose this employee and I'll click enter in order for the employee number to appear. Okay, as you see here, those are the fields which we have. First, we choose the currency which we want, and Hinawi Software contains this feature of adding whatever currency you require. So for example, whether you are located in the United Arab Emirates, in Jordan, in the US, and whatever country you are in, you will be easily capable of adding and creating its own currency. And for each employee, you can choose the currency required. And this is the effective date. By the way, it shows here that the employee is an HR employee because, as we have mentioned in previous videos, that employees can be divided into either HR employee or timesheet employee. So an employee has to be and must be one specific type, either this or that. And from here, we have the basic salary and allowances. Those are the salary items which are already set up from the settings. We have the basic salary and we have the other allowances, and those are the amounts. We can change the amount here, and we can also change the other allowances here. Notice here that the total automatically changes from the system instantly when I change the item from here. So whenever I change this, the total will change. Okay, and so basically you see here, each one contains its own setup. We also have the salary on contract. This is not mandatory to be filled. You can leave it empty, but it's used regarding employees, or it's regarding the company policy itself. whether we want to write here the salary as it says on the contract exactly. So it might not always be that the total here is the same as the salary on contract. It might be a little bit different, but this is used according to the salary certificate. For example, later on when we want to create or make the salary certificate, then this will be useful because it will read what is the exact number from the contract rather than the total here. So we can either write it as 650, 600, 0. It's all editable easily. Now, before I proceed forwards with this, let me show you in the settings how we can add more salary items. Because this is not fixed, it's very flexible. Users are easily capable of adding more new items according to the company policies which they have. So let's go here in the general settings and let's choose the test company and let's go to basic salary and allowances. So as you see here, those are the items which are currently contained in the system, but notice here there are two main differences. We have those boxes which are kind of like red color, and we also have those boxes which are kind of gray. The main difference is that any gray item means that it's not set up yet. So basically gray items means that it still needs to be set up in order to be used and displayed in the window which we have just seen. However, the items which are like this, red colored, are basically already set up and we can easily view them from the set salaries window and we can change the amounts accordingly. So let's see here. For example, I want to click on transportation, and then from here I choose the columns which I want to be displayed in the setup when I open it. Let me click save settings and close, and then let me click yes. From here you see that the company name is at the top. This is the allowance type which we have, the item which is regarding allowances regarding transportation. From here we have effective date. All these things I have explained in my previous video regarding the setup. And then let me click on set default right here if I want to save time and check the default setup, which is this. And let me click on save and close now. And let me click yes. Now then I will go to the same employee again and click enter. As you see here, this item which we have just set up is now appearing here as transportation, and we can easily fill the amount for it. And it will instantly update the total right here. So it's pretty simple, it's really easy to use. Those items which are in the settings can easily be created and the setup can be applied into them. But what if, let's see another case, if I want to add a new item other than the items which currently exist in the settings. So let's go to list and then let's go to general list. And from here, as if the database is displayed in front of you. I have also covered this in a video regarding the general list and what it does and why is it useful and how it displays everything as if the database is in front of the user. But I will show you this in order to deliver the idea more clearly, okay? Let's see the HR activities. By the way, this is usually depending on, or definitely depending on the permissions which are permitted. So users, not all users might be able to view this window. It depends on what the admin have decided for them to view. So let's go to the HR activities and let's go to basic salary items and benefits right here. As you see here, we have all these items. So in case we want to add any new item, all we have to do is go here, click on the title itself, the list name, and then click on new. Afterwards, let's write here, for example, let's write here unique, for example, allowance, just as an example to show you And by the way, we can also set the name in Arabic, both Arabic and English, in order for us to easily be able to view this name when we open or change the software to Arabic. So it will be displayed as both English and Arabic, which will enable us to have a more clear picture of the items in the software. So we can set this in English and in Arabic, and then we set the priority. Priority means that where will it appear in the list? So whenever you decrease the number, the priority will raise higher. And let's save and close this. So as you see here, the unique allowances is here. Now, if we want to edit it, all we have to do is click on the item itself and either delete or edit this. But for now, let's just close it and let's go back to the settings in which it will appear there easily, where we have to set it up in order for it to appear in the set salary windows. And let's go to the basic salary. So you see here, now it's appearing in the list. Unique allowances is here, but the box here is gray because we have not set this up yet. So we have to click on it, save the settings and close, click on yes, click on the set default, click on yes, and then change this according to the company's policies, whatever we want to add or change, and then save this and close, and click on yes and yes. And now when we go back here to this window, all we have to do is click on the employee again, click enter, and it's appearing accurately and precisely as possible. We can also write the amount which we want, and it will instantly update the total here. Now let's proceed forwards with this. We have the payment mode here. Now this payment mode is regarding the salary itself. We're not talking about any activity right now at the moment, we're just talking about the salary. So how is the salary for this employee going to be paid? Is it going to be paid by cash, check, or bank transfer? Notice here that when I click on cash, this will be grayed out. It will not be displayed. When I click on bank transfer, it will be displayed for us to change the wage protection system, which is also called the SIF. When I click on check, however, this will be grayed out again. So this is used for cash. Right here, when I click on it, for bank transfer, we will be able to easily click or untick this when I click on bank transfer, but cash and check will not be able to use this. Now afterwards, after we have clicked on bank transfer, notice here that all these bank related information are displayed where we have to select the bank name, which is also a great feature in the software where we allow users to create as much bank names as they require, also regarding the branch. So we write here and fill all the information regarding the bank transfer and whether we are using the WPS, which is the wage protection system, which is when we click on here, we can write here the account number only and the finance number regarding the WPS usage only. However, if we do not use or require or need the WPS, we can simply uncheck this. It depends basically on the country you are in. For example, the United Arab Emirates use the WPS feature. However, Jordan, for example, does not use the WPS. So it's up to the country itself whether we require this or not, because later on it will affect the location of creating the salary sheet and payment for the salary sheet. Later on, when we want to pay the salary sheet, we have two paths, basically two options and decisions, whether we want to go and pay through the WPS feature or not the WPS. So we can choose this accordingly. And when we click on cash, those bank related information here will be grayed out. Same thing applies to check. We will not have to fill any bank name or branch here. So let's go and click on cash. Okay, that's how it's used right here. And let me talk now about the salary and the payment mode for the activities, how to set the payment mode for activities. Now let's see here. We have said that the salary sheet for this employee is going to be paid by cash. But what if, for example, the leave activity is not paid through cash? What if it's paid through bank transfer or through cash or through check? In this case, we go to set payment mode for activities, and we can change this according to the employee himself or herself. Now this highly depends on the employee, because each employee has a different payment mode for activities. Like employee A, for example, might have the payment mode for the leave payment set as bank transfer, but employee B, for example, has the payment mode selected as check for the leave payment. So it depends on each employee differently. We have this amazing feature of setting the payment mode for all activities the same as the salary payment mode. So it will read from here. If it says cash, then it will fill all these fields and the entire column regarding the option which was selected here. So they will all be selected as cash. We can change them according to what we require for this employee. And then all we have to do is click OK. By the way, you have to make sure that the effective date is accurate and correct, because it will highly affect the salary sheet and everything related to the payment later on. So it's really useful and beneficial, and it will affect all the steps and the workflow after it. We have other tabs here regarding the benefits payments, the benefits provided. We have also regarding the summary. It will instantly show us what are the benefits which are paid and what are the benefits which are provided in a yearly basis or the monthly cost average and the total here for all of them. We also have the memo, and last but not least, we have the Social Security. Social Security must be set up from the settings first in order to be able to fill these regarding the percents of the employee's Social Security and the company's Social Security. And also we have the Social Security number and the employee tax number here. So all we have to do is click on using this feature of Social Security from the settings, which are used by the admin account, and later on we can easily use this from here. This is pretty simple and straightforward, and it's really beneficial. We can select here whether we want to use the Social Security tab for pension. But first, we have to make sure what company are we selecting, because as we said, each company has its own setup. We go to the second tab. Now, as you see here, this is currently unticked. So when we tick this and click on Save and Close, and then data is... Now, as we see here, the Social Security contains these fields where we can easily change them and decide the employee's Social Security percent and the company's Social Security percent. It reads from the effective date, which we have created and set up before earlier in the settings, and it also reads the checklist, which I have shown you and displayed in the previous settings window, where we selected the checklist as yes, use the Social Security. But this is really important to make sure of, because in the setup modules, in the HRMS settings, and in the general settings, we have to see here that in the basic salary, we have those two columns right here regarding the pension for employees and the pension for company. So in case we want to add the percent here for the pension regarding employees and company, we have to make sure from the effective date in order for it to appear normally in the window, which we have just seen now, regarding, of course, both locals and non-locals. So after we make sure that the effective date is accurate and correct, and the pension for employees and company is created here, and after we make sure that the payroll policy contains the using of Social Security tab for pension is checked here, then in this case, and after making sure all these steps are completely created, then we can see here that the Social Security salary, the percent for employees and company can be changed from here. Of course, in addition to the tax number for employees and the Social Security number for employee. So all these things are displayed here easily. And notice here that after filling and making sure that all the salary allowances and the items and everything is completely done 100%, we can then proceed forwards with creating the payroll for HR or for timesheet payroll, and then proceed forwards with payment, as I have mentioned, regarding either WPS or non-WPS payment. So if we made sure that the employee contains his or her salary, the allowances, the payment mode, all these things are clear, then we can proceed forwards with creating the salary sheet. But of course, we should make sure that, of course, there are like no other activities pending. Like everything is fine and everything can be created. Of course, if we do not have any activities, like if the employee did not attend or take any loan, leave, or any of those things, mainly just creating of salary, then that's enough. Like you don't have to go through the activities in order to create the salary sheet. All you have to do is make sure that the employee has his or her own salary amount created and inserted in the system for the month, of course. So we can create the salary sheet here, apply the taxes, approve it, and proceed forwards with this. And then we can easily view this from the HRMS reports, where we can see all the details for the salaries to have their salary set and everything created in the system. Notice here that in the salary for HR payroll, all the items will appear as columns, like on top and beside each other. So whatever you have created as items will appear here. We have the total and everything displayed, and the effective date starts from the 1st of January 2019. So as you see here, we have the name, the position, the department, the grade, the joining, all these kind of information, the other allowances. Everything is right here. All the items are displayed clearly, where we can later save the salary and proceed forwards with approving and payment. So that's it for this video. I hope it was clear and I delivered the points clearly. And make sure to watch our other videos on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to like this video and share it with everyone who might be interested and who might benefit from it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.